Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast, NFL edition. The AFC South on tap here with Chip Chirimbes, Doug Upstone, Sean Higgs coming at you. Before we get into let's be honest, this is as bad as the NFC South. This is the weakest of the AFC. Take a second. Let's go. Thumbs up. You're probably going to thumbs down if you're a fan of any of these teams because we're going to badmouth them a little bit. At least I will. We'll see what the other gentlemen have to say here about this division. But you're here. Like, subscribe, notification bells on so you know each and every day whether we're doing the NFL previews, college football talk, Major League Baseball free picks. You do not want to miss out on anything, including Football Friday live edition coming at you. We're back. It's football season. Notification bells on. And, of course, best bets, premium stuff, all that NFL, college, NBA, WNBA, golf, whatever the case may be. It's at gamblersworld.net. But we're talking NFL football. The South, then we're going to go right into it here, Doug. Houston Texans, we're going to pop up the lines here. Texans favored to win this division, and why wouldn't they be? Let's look at the rest of the teams behind them. You got the Jaguars breaking in a new coach. They got a new quarterback. The Colts, they're the Colts. They got a quarterback, but he's not really a quarterback. I don't know what exactly he is in Anthony Richardson. Maybe. Who knows? We'll talk about the Colts in a second. And the Tennessee Titans. Oh, it's not Will Levis' show anymore. The future, they got rid of him. He's on the injured list because they drafted a new quarterback here at the top of the board. So he's all of a sudden gets hurt, and I need a surgery after, the entire offseason and them drafting a guy to replace him. They're the lowly guys at the back of the rotation here. The Colts, we're going to start at the top, because they're the best team here. And the other ones, I'm sure we'll have a little less to say because, like our mothers taught us, you don't have something nice to say about somebody, you don't say anything at all. CJ Stroud, a little bit of a step back last year, gentlemen, but expected. Still a playoff team, caliber quarterback, coach. Plus 110 looks way easier to do. But you know what? In a spot like this, I like to look for value. I like the Texans to win this one, going through all these other guys' schedules. They have 6 games, and again, when I do these little look-aheads for these teams, I like to see those small lines, 1.5, either way, plus minus. They got 6 of them. They're dogs in 5 others, but you know what? They're all road games. Rams, Baltimore, Kansas City, Chargers. They're actually listed as a dog against Tennessee, which is kind of shocking to me, but before that, they're home versus the Jaguars, and they got the Bills after it. So it's a sandwich spot. I could see them being flat in that one. You beat a division rival, then you're in a bad spot on the road versus a team that could be struggling. Who knows? I like them to go over their win total here because of the division they play in. My safest bet for them, Doug, would be to win a division. I don't think somebody's going to catch them because I don't think another team's going to be over 500 in this division. So give me their plus 110 here to win the division.
Yeah, I can't disagree. That 9.5 win total, it seems low, but they do play a number one schedule. Okay, a division winner schedule, so that sort of works against them. The one thing though that I don't, them being I didn't look to see that they're an underdog at Tennessee. I'm presuming that doesn't really make sense in a lot of ways, because I can't even imagine that an odds maker would say, well, this is a flat spot. Well, how do you pick a flat spot months ahead of time? That's what
DK had when I wrote it down. I was like,
that was a little weird. Yeah. It's just that's an odd line, but so Houston first place schedule. I think their offensive line will be better. It was not good last year, okay, especially in pass protection. So I think I think they did enough from an upgrade standpoint to turn that around. I don't think it's going to come right out of the box, the first 4 weeks necessarily. So I think take a look at Houston's offensive line come week 5, and I think we'll have a better idea. And if they're starting to show signs with CJ Stroud that he has more time in the pocket, I think that helps. Defensively, this team, really can get after the passer. They got some tremendous pass rushers, so that's good. Their secondary, if it's not top 5, it might even be top 3. Linebackers, not crazy about their linebackers. I think they need to make more tackles near the line of scrimmage, which they didn't do last year. And in space, they were not very good last year. Missed a lot of tackles. over 9.5. I would lean that direction. And if they won 11 games, I wouldn't be surprised either. The thing that's odd to me, though, Sean and Chip, is you said plus 110 for Houston to win division, right?
Yes.
Yes. But both Jacksonville and Indy are only plus 3 something. And it seems like that should be higher, all things considered. So that adds to, for me, at least, to the trepidation of actually really backing Houston, with my own money, put it that way.
I just dug into DK here to pull up the schedule. It was a typo.
Okay.
They are a 3-point favorite on the road there. So
Makes
they are
sense.
favorites. Not a dog. Yeah, I was like, that can't be right because I wrote that in the Tennessee schedule as well. I'm like, maybe the page had it messed up, but that's what it was. They're not an underdog at Tennessee, so that makes perfect sense. Chip Chirimbes, my guy, what do you think about the Texans in the South here?
I don't like them. I think they regressed last year. I won't be surprised. I'm not a big fan, honestly. I think at $1.10, I don't like them to win. I'll tell you who I do when we get to that club, but I'm really not a big Houston fan here. What can I tell you? I mean, the total was 9.5, and you had a lay price on the under as far as the total was concerned. So
you minus 120 on their win total.
Yeah, and so I don't like Houston. I don't. It's just one of those things. I'll bet them at times. Of course, we will. We have to. We have to be able to play anything.
There is no reason, keep it a short and sweet, Chip, right? Why? If you're going to delve into it and start thinking why, then the wheels start turning and it gets, we talk about this when we talk about betting futures on win totals. You get kind of that tunnel vision on a team. Better today, I don't like them
doing it. It's sort of like it sets you. Your mindset is like every time you go to play with or against this team, you're thinking about your season bet, and I'd rather not have. I'd rather have a clear mind. I think it clutters me a little bit.
Listen, we do baseball videos all the time, and most of the time you hear me say, "Well, I'm Cardinals. I can't really love them because I have an under." Like that's always in my head. I got this team. It's always there. Yeah. It's always there.
Exactly.
We're going to go to team number 2 here at plus 290. Maybe this is a team you like, Chip. The Jacksonville Jaguars. We got the whole new ship coming in. Head coach takes over. They brought in Travis Hunter. I thought it's probably the best player in the draft. I don't know if that's going to contribute to them getting a lot more wins with their quarterback play. They are dogs in 11 total games this season. Their win total sitting at 7.5. Juiced, again, 145 to their over. I'm not a Jags fan. I bet the Panthers week 1 plus 3 already. So there is my thoughts on the Jaguars, Chip.
Well, they were -5 last year. I mean, it went from 9 wins to 4, and I think they might have been even worse against the number, which is supposed to be the equalizer. Once again, I'm not that crazy here either. This isn't the side I'm looking to play. So, I can't see much progress, shall I say, and trying to make some money here. There is a play out there for me. Trevor Lawrence had an absolutely horrid season last year. I mean, there were people wide open. He was throwing the ball 8 yards short. I don't know if
what I'm looking
if he was shell-shocked or what the story was. I think he'll get better. I think he'll be better this year. But Jacksonville seems to have a long way to go. And haven't they had all kinds of ownership issues and problems and things along those lines? They play 2 games on the road in London every year, which are considered home games. So
at least they win those games. They're there so much that they're familiar with it. So that's a spot I want to bet them.
They can't play 17 of them over there. I mean.
I'm trying to find the stat on Trevor Lawrence. Right, he was at what? Lost like 14 in a row or something. Doug. I mean, maybe he had a terrible run. Right, something like that.
To his credit, I think I saw this, and I could be awful few on this. I believe in his career he has 75 touchdowns and 49 interceptions. Okay, I mean that's not terrible. Okay,
no.
And the one thing that the team did is, besides changing coaches, is they brought in a ton of free agents. Now we know free agents sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But you got a lot of new free agents. You got a new coaching staff, and let's face it, for Trevor Lawrence, I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence won't play an additional 5 more years, okay? but this is his last chance. Okay, and for in this town, anyways, to be the starting quarterback. If he blows this one, he's out. Okay, he'll just be gone. So, do I really think he's that good? No, he does really nice. What was it? Head and Shoulders commercials, I believe. Yes, Head and Shoulders, I believe it was. He does a good job on those. But their offensive line their offense should be improved. Their line should be improved. I think their running game will be better than average, and I think they'll be at least middle of the road in terms of stats, in terms of throwing the ball. But last year they had the second worst defense in the NFL. Do you think they're going to jump up to the middle of the pack? Okay, because in order to win 10 games or 9 games to be a division contender, that's what it's going to take. So is that defense going to improve that much? And to your point, Sean, I mean, it does appear that there is sharp action on Jacksonville at 7.5, or at least lean more toward more of that type of better. But for me, I don't have a strong opinion on this game other than to say I would lean under before I'd even consider over.
I'm looking for his thing because I'm pretty sure he lost like 11 in a row as a starter.
Yeah, that's true. I believe you're correct.
Something terrible. Like you're like, what the heck?
Out of Clemson,
Mac Jones is gone. He's saying that he feels he's primed to break out now, and you're well. You have Nick Mullins and John Wolford backing you up, and Seth Hannigan, and a new coach. So you're learning a whole new offense,
right?
Yeah, good luck with that. People buying on it. I don't get it. 140. I'm not interested in that one. I mean,
what do you? I know you want to say something.
Well, I'm just, I'm so disappointed. I thought he was a quality quarterback. I thought it was going to be one of the elite quarterbacks. And I mean, the way he threw the ball last year, you have to question it, take a step back. And I'm wondering now what I saw out of Clemson. Is that still the same guy? Maybe he should get a haircut. I don't know, but he just didn't look like. Say a top shelf quarterback at all. I mean, throwing that sideline pass is one of the most difficult and most important passes for an NFL quarterback. And I used to think he could do it. I didn't see much of it last year.
Yeah, the other thing about him, and if I know you guys watch enough football, but what I watch. Well, maybe you probably watch as much as I do, but anyways, the one thing though, when they do the national games, no, not the regional games, one of the things that always has come up over the last 2 to 3 years is his lack of self-confidence. Okay, himself personally.
Really?
They've mentioned this time and time again to where I noticed it, and to where it's like he knows that he can play better. But he just hasn't quite got the feel for the situation, that's the last thing an NFL quarterback can do.
Yeah, I mean, here's a national champion you're talking about, and you would think they're arrogant, that they're cocky, and they're
right.
And the way I thought he played well his first few seasons. Last year was just an abomination, really.
Yeah, they got hot.
Didn't he have Spurrier the first year? Didn't Spurrier come in and coach him and? He was trying to build a college team, Spurrier, didn't he? I thought Spurrier drafted him and ATN, his running back.
Makes sense of sorts,
right?
Yeah, but I don't think to be honest with you, even though Doug Peterson was considered a quarterback coach, if you really look at Doug Peterson's history as a head coach with quarterbacks, Carson Wentz played good for a season, then he got hurt, and that was pretty much the end of his career. I mean, and what's really happened with Doug? What did Doug Peterson do for Lawrence? Not much, So I think that I don't think that's help matters. Now, will the new guy be better? Don't know. And by the way, that's a trivia question. Can you name the name of the Jacksonville coach? I think I know. I thought because I thought I saw it.
I just wrote it down and they stole my sheet.
Liam Cohn.
There we go. Give him a prize. Okay.
I mean,
free haircut.
You're gonna give him a
free
prize
haircut for Sean. What is that? Great clips. Free haircut. There you go.
I mean, what are the Jags doing? I was making a joke about what's his name, Spurrier, but no, it was Urban Meyer was the coach. But the point being, Urban Meyer came in there and was trying to draft a college football team. That didn't help him out, and now you're into another coach and coordinator.
Oh.
I can't see it. I can't.
But the girls' team, though, it's the college girls' team he was trying to deal with, right? I mean, that was what cost him his job.
He was terrible, Urban Meyer. What did he go 2-11? 2-11, they fired him. Anyway,
Saban didn't do so well either with Miami.
That is a misconception there. That is I think he went 7-8, and then he went back to college. And they didn't want to sign Drew Brees. They wanted Brian Leftwich. They said no to. He wanted Brees.
No, but that's
a totally different team if they listen to him.
The crux of the problem. I was in Miami and I had tickets for the Dolphins at the time. The crux of the problem was Ricky Williams retired after the draft, and Saban had worked and had structured his offense through the draft and everything else to be a power game. And now all of a sudden he doesn't have Ricky Williams. And I swear to you, that's the reason he left there, because he didn't have what he had expected to have. And plus the fact, I think the Dolphin ownership was playing a little bait and switch on a few things with him.
Yeah,
but he handled it poorly, because he told everyone he was staying. He told everyone he didn't have a job. He had already signed with Alabama. It was obvious, but he had
no
a bad
doubt he would have succeeded. I think he would have.
I do too. I think he was a good coach, and like I said, without Ricky Williams, all of a sudden, he was lost, and he knew it. He knew he had no chance.
Damn, well,
and Williams did a bad thing. He should have told him before the draft that he was going to go smoke pot. But
Ricky Williams was who was the I can't think of the NBA player. There was an NBA player played in the last 3 or 4 years. I think he did he go to Kansas? I can't think of what school he went to, but another big time doper. Just he couldn't smoke enough weed.
Yeah.
Okay? And obviously neither could Ricky. Anyway,
next up, a fan base whose owner probably like to hit the devil's lettuce before pass it away. The Colts, he had a little partier owner back in the day here. How is this team over 7.5 wins with Anthony? First of all, here we go. That's Chip's going crazy over. I was going to start with Doug, but I might have to throw it back to Chip here because he's pumped up here, Doug.
Are you ready? Are you ready? They win the division. Daniel Jones gets comeback player of the year. They run the ball. They stop the other side. The owner is dead. They don't have to worry about that guy. Rest in peace. Go Colts! I'm telling you. I saw it. I saw it in a vision. No, what the heck? They're plus 320. I think it was to win the division. And when I looked at it, I said they might be worth a shot. They got. Richardson's not going to quarterback them. Daniel Jones is a professional, regardless of how he looked with the Giants. Richardson still, I don't even think he's a Sandlot player. And they're going to go with Daniel Jones. So look for some big yardage out of him, and for the Colts to surprise a few people, as Houston and Jacksonville both faltered.
Well, here's the thing. 7.5 wins, and you mentioned comeback player of the year, whether you want Daniel Jones or if Richardson somehow gets a shot and gets back in there and overtakes Daniel Jones. Like, we saw flashes of Daniel Jones.
Than ever.
We saw the flashes of him being good. I thought he'd be good under Dabo. Because we saw it, the running was better, the turnovers were down. He looked good, and then it just, whatever happened, the team didn't.
Would you say you got most NFL quarterbacks complete like 65%, or at least between 60? He's at 42%. 42% for a professional quarterback.
He was drafted off of what? 8 starts, Doug? 9 starts in Florida?
It was a poor move. I mean, he's raw, but I don't know.
Go ahead, Doug.
No, I mean, the one thing that I will say, if you forget the quarterback position, if you look at Houston and Indy, the difference in the teams themselves, I don't think it's great. I think Houston's still better, but I don't think they're dramatically better. Okay, so what does it come down to? It comes down to the quarterback position. So here's my prediction, is that Anthony Richardson, because he was paid and he was the number 1 draft choice, he will start the season as the number 1 quarterback. Okay, Chip, I'm just saying this is my prediction.
No, I understand. I don't think so. I don't.
And I think what they'll do, he has 4 games. If he doesn't produce in 4 games, Daniel Jones is in, they might as well cut Anthony Richardson because they're going to go a different direction, and that's how it'll be. Now, to Daniel Jones, I think the benefit to him is that this team that he will, if he ends up being the quarterback, on the presumption that Chip is correct, okay, we're going to go with that one, but on the presumption he's correct, is that this will be the best team surrounding Daniel Jones since he went to the playoffs, okay, with the one Giants team. I think this team, talent-wise, has enough there to where that's possible. So once again, to me, this is another one I have no interest in backing. It's either pass or lean over for me.
Here's the thing with the Colts. I said this last year when they started Richardson, and I had him in week one. With the points. I'm like, you're going to start this guy.
You're going to count the 3 preseason games so he can get ousted after their opener?
No, Chip, there's nothing to say to that, because this is what I thought last year. I said if you start the kid off of his tiny sample size in Florida, he's got to go the whole year. You can't yo-yo him. That'll just screw the kid up. I don't say thankfully, but he got hurt, which kind of gave him the leadway to kind of bring him in and back and forth and kind of get him back.
This is his third year, though, right? I mean, he's had 2 years under his belt.
Yeah, he's gotten paid for 2 years.
Yes.
But yes, the Colts, everywhere else around the field, is a solid squad. I like Steichen as a coach. I think he's decent. It's the quarterback play. What happens here? Is he going to be? He drafted this kid, right? It's his guy. He drafted Richardson. So he's kind of stuck to him a little bit. Now, granted, Irsay's gone or whatever, and he could be like, "Oh, I was kind of pushed it. We liked him, but now I want to win for who's ever going to be taking over and signing my checks." And that's where I kind of agree with Chip. Are you going with a guy who's a little bit more established, a little more polished, even though he's not on the
one guy's a pro
echelon.
And the other's still trying to become a pro.
All right. So
anyway,
here we go. We'll get into the last one, but AC Gamblers World, that's where you're going to find all of our best bets in NFL action, whether they're player props, season-long props, day by day, game by game. Head to gamblersworld.net for our best NFL action. Final team here, the Tennessee Titans. Oh, boy.
This might take a half an hour, by the way.
15-time underdog. 15 games they are listed as a dog. I got to say, though, you got the new quarterback coming in, right? Cam Ward comes in, new coach comes in. No controversy because the guy who was drafted number 1 before he is out for the year. You got decent wide receivers. You got the veterans in there, right? Calvin Ridley and who's the other guy? Lockhart, right? Kind of older guy, but veterans. At least you got some guys who've been in the league to help you. Pollard in the backfield. You also brought in Nick Chubb. Can this team surprise, Doug? Minus 140. That's a juicy over for a team with a rookie quarterback, new head coach, a great running back coming off injury. I think this is a very tough team to kind of get a feel on.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. To tell you the truth, I'm going to say, okay, Tennessee 3-14 last year. Okay, first-year coach Brian Callahan. There was talk that he could have been fired at the end of the season. That's how bad they were. He was not. So instead of like a typical ownership say, hey, you know what, we're going to keep you, but we need some different coaches. Well, they made one coaching change, the special teams coach. Jeez, I mean, that's at least 4 wins right there, right? Okay, if you got great special teams, you're on your way. So then, now that you talk about the Will Levis thing, Will Levis has actually ended up being quite better at selling mayonnaise than he was playing as an NFL quarterback. Okay, so Cam Ward, all right. I have not gotten this out of my head since his last year at Washington State. I think they started 6 or 7-0 at Washington State his last year there. So that was 2 years ago. And then they played UCLA. And what happened was in that game, Washington State lost 2 wide receivers and their best running back. Cam Ward, UCLA blitzed him to death. He just got killed. He got killed. I think he threw 4 or 5 interceptions in that game. He was awful. He was awful the rest of the season. Okay. Goes to Miami, got a ton of talent around him. Yes, he's a year older. He's more mature, everything else. But now he's going to a team that, okay, maybe Nick Chubb is serviceable at this point. doesn't really have great wide receivers. Okay, he's going to go there. So you're going to go. Is this team going to win 3 more games? Okay, if you take everything into consideration and with a coach that's still unproven, I don't see it at all. And let's not forget, last year, the number 2 defense in the NFL by numbers was the Tennessee Titans. Okay, but that's a faulty number. It's 100% faulty number because they were number 25 against the run. So why would teams bother to pass other than when they wanted to? Okay, they could run the ball down their throats. Last year, they were 29th or lower in points allowed, sacks, interceptions, and forced turnovers. For Doug Upstone, it's under 5.5.
If you faded Tennessee last year, I don't know if this is a good record, 15-2 ATS. I don't know.
They won 3 games and only covered twice the whole year.
Right.
And do you think Cam Ward is a difference maker?
Not this year.
Well, I didn't think I think it was kind of a weak quarterback draft this past year. I really do. If Cam Ward,
I don't think Cam Ward's a star.
He's not coming in with the resume of not to say Manning. You don't want to say that, but I wasn't impressed. He's just another quarterback to me. He happens to be the first one taken.
We've talked about the quarterbacks. Teams draft these guys thinking like, oh, we hear that we know what these people say on these TV shows. Oh, look at a presence, and he's going to be a franchise. Everybody's a franchise quarterback. How many franchise quarterbacks have we not seen in the last 5 years? They just replaced one here. Will Levis was supposed to be a franchise quarterback.
Was a franchise quarterback.
I mean,
yeah, but Will Levis could throw the ball 65 yards from his knees.
And you can't throw the ball from the bench or a prison cell.
Cam Ward is going to get 100% of the action here. He's going to be thrown to the wolves. I'm not a thrown to the wolves kind of guy. I think teams, you got to kind of sit guys that got to learn a little bit. Brandon Allen, Tim Boyle backing up the show here. Now, that's good for preseason because I think, let's be honest, if I'm the coach of Tennessee, I want Cam Ward in there learning, and not throwing him into the Wolves game 1 to Sean Payton in Denver of all places on the road for week 1, my first NFL start. Then he's not going to do that. He's going to sit this guy all preseason, let him run some reps and practices, and then get mauled in week 1 in Denver. I'm looking to take Tennessee in here in August for some underdog action. I think it'll be worth value there, but yeah. Season-wise, these kids that come out of college, I mean, very rarely do we have Bo Nix, who's 27, or Penix, who's 25, 26, who's, injured, missed out. These kids got to stay in school a little bit and learn. You can't just be jumping around to 4 different schools, 3 different schools. You're not learning anything. You've got new coordinators. You're coming to the NFL. This is why Joe Flacco gets off a couch and takes a team to the playoffs, because he's seen NFL defenses. These kids can't read defenses a lick. I mean, how'd Caleb Williams look? He couldn't read a defense in the Pac-12 with 4 NFL players on it. Now he's facing 11, and he's running for his life. I think Cam Ward's going to be in for the same problem.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, here's a question for both of you. Okay, I'm the LSU quarterback, and I can't think of his last name right now. The guy that's their quarterback, arguably the best quarterback in college football. Do you think that he's better than Cam Ward? I do. But I just, that's just an opinion, and then one other thing here, this correlates perfectly why this division is no good. I don't know where you guys would put CJ Stroud in terms of, 1 to 32 for quarterbacks. I would say maybe around 10. Okay. That's just off the top of my head,
I think you're overrating him.
And I'm not saying I'm not. I just,
you think he's top 10, Sean?
Well, maybe 13, top 13. Maybe
he's in the top tier. He's not. I'd be hard pressed.
He's in the top half. He's in the top half. Okay, but he's in the top half, and then look at the other 3 teams. None of those quarterbacks. So you wonder why this division stinks? It's right there. It's the quarterbacks. They don't.
Daniel Jones.
We'll find out.
Comeback player of the year.
Okay. Hey, Chip, then give me an over and under on interceptions for Daniel Jones then.
Oh, wow. Okay, wait a minute. Colts, Daniel Jones, 18 and a half, no, 17 and a half.
Okay, all right.
That's one a game, right? 16 and a half, one a game.
Yeah. Well, no, so from your point of view, that would be it's only one a game. Okay.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah. But, is Jonathan Taylor still with the Colts? I mean,
yes.
They had Sean Barkley when he was quarterback in the Giants, so maybe there shouldn't be that much of a difference. But I don't know. I think new blood, I really am down on Richardson. I really don't. I know both you guys think he's going to start. Now, I don't think he's going to start. I really don't.
I think I actually read something the other day where they're committed to him. So that's why.
Yeah, they may be.
Yeah. So they're committed to him to start the season. Because I think they really need to find out if he can play or not. I mean, they put a lot of money into a number one draft choice. You have to know. A
couple times he had a couple of plays those first games he played. He looked outrageous. I mean, he looked like he was a stud.
Yeah, but he's on whole he's terrible. Okay,
yeah.
That's just. I mean, he is. I mean, he is no good. I mean, anybody can make a few plays. I mean, you don't get to be a quarterback in the NFL if you can't throw the ball to a certain degree and you can't make some plays. But that doesn't mean you're a quality quarterback.
And you know what the dilemma is, Doug? It isn't like he came out of college 22, 23 years old. He's still just a kid.
Right.
I mean, he hasn't played.
Right. I mean, I'd like to see if you go back in the last 3 years, how many games he's actually started.
Yeah. And his upside, if he ever, gets healthy and it'd be tremendous, but he's got a long way to go. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. He is. I mean, and I don't know who's going to have time in the NFL to babysit somebody to make them better now in his third year.
Chip Chirimbes possibly onto something with Daniel Jones comeback player of the year. Opened at 3,800, currently sitting at 2,500, even as low as 2,000.
See, he's caught action.
Well, I tell you what, Chip, in terms of props, okay, I'll give you props because for this division, normally I went through literally everything I could find. I don't have one for props for this whole division. There's not one thing I like.
It is.
Well, this one, it popped up in my head because when I looked at I said, well, he's the pro. He's right. He's the pro there. He should be playing. And we'll see what happens.
Listen, if he's going to quarterback 12 games, he should put up stats. I mean, he's got a running back, he's got receivers, an offensive-minded coach. He should be able to put up the numbers. And let's be honest.
What is McCaffrey for comeback player of the year? Because that's he'd probably be the favorite, I would imagine.
Yes.
Plus 350. Dak Prescott's a favorite at 250, which the guy's going to throw 30 touchdowns, so he's going to be at the top of the board there for that. I mean, that'll be a tough one to
There's
pass.
another one you can keep.
Yeah. Again, at that price, he could have a good season. That's fine. I'm not sold on the Cowboys' offensive line. We'll talk about them on another video here we'll have. But that offensive line, still no running back. Great. He's got two receivers. He's going to be running for his life. But listen, that's the wrap on the South. This is a tough one here, folks. So listen, if you're a South fan, you like one of your teams, get into the comments section. You could do multiple comments because it only allows you a certain amount of characters. Let us know what you think about your squad here.
Ride those Colts.
Chip is high on the Colts. Daniel Jones, again, he's a New York kind of guy. He's in the area there. He likes Yankees, Giants, Knicks. Yeah, that's how he rolls.
No Rangers, no.
Again, thanks for popping in. Notification bell on so you know when we do our free pick videos. Our best bets here in NFL, whether they're preseason, regular season, or props at gamblersworld.net. Early bird specials up right now. It's less than $25 a week. Go get it. It's less than what you spend wasting on coffee. That'll kill you. We won't kill you. We'll just make you stronger. At least the bankroll better. Gentlemen, have a good one.